let's start with the conventions today. We have got 3 conventions, and conventions, what do we mean by conventions? So conventions are basically those traditions which has been followed over the years, and since whatever convention that is getting followed is giving us the results which are correct, and based on that, if anybody is taking decision, any user is taking decision, they are able to derive their correct their correct results. That means the decisions that they are taking are being based on the correct data, the relevant data, and so they are providing them the correct results for whatever decisions that they are taking, right? So conventions has been derived over the period of time based on the usage of accounting as a language, and the language that is used for preparing the set of accounts or statement of accounts. So whatever accounts that are getting prepared, because we are using these concepts, that means principles and conventions as the base, so it is to be taken into consideration that it should always be objective in nature. That means our purpose is to provide the right information to the parties interested so that they can take their respective decisions correctly, and that is the main important purpose of preparing accounts, right? So let's start with the convention. There are 3 conventions, so let's start with the first one. Okay, okay, so these are the conventions. So let's start with accounting conventions. Okay, let's read it from here. Accounting convention may be defined as customs or generally accepted practices, which is adopted either by the general agreement or common consent among accountants. But this is the common consent among accountants. Which accountants are we referring to? We are referring to those practitioners who are creating these customs, who are making it a norm, so that all other organizations which are following these conventions are going to follow it in the manner in which it has been derived, right? So it is the body through which these conventions are also made, and they come into existence, right? So it is not only by the organization's accountant. That means they are not only the ones who are being referred here to. Okay, accounting conventions differ from concepts in the following respect. Okay, let me just take you through the difference. Although difference पूछा नहीं जाता है, मतलब बहुत कम chances हैं कि आपको difference पूछा जाएगा, मगर फिर भी मैं आपको we'll go through it. Okay, I've just received a doubt question. Tejas bache, just wait. I'll be answering your doubt question. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Why is it not visible on the screen? Okay. So Tejas is asking that in cost concept, it is written that if there will be an increase or decrease in the market value of the building, it would not be recorded in the books of account. But in the last 2 lines, it was meaning, what is the meaning of the word ordinarily? Okay. Let me explain this concept again to you, and so that you'll be able to understand it better. When we say cost concept is historical cost concept is basically talking about recording of all the transactions which are related to the purchase of fixed assets, right? So every time that we are purchasing any fixed asset, we are going to record it at the purchase price minus depreciation that we are going to charge every year, right? Now, since we are recording the fixed assets based on the cost at which it has been purchased, and we are not taking into consideration the market price comes into play only when we are planning to sell the organization, or we are planning to shut down the organization, or we are planning to sell the asset, right? It is these 3 circumstances only when the market value of the asset has to be taken into consideration, right? Ordinarily, despite of any of the circumstances which is not including any of these three circumstances which I just mentioned, and which is liquidation, that is winding up of an organization, or selling of an organization, or selling of a fixed asset, till the time all these three things are not happening, the market value of the purchase of the asset is not going to be taken into consideration. The books are always going to be maintained using the purchase price. That means the total cost that we have incurred for bringing in the machine, for installing the machine, right? So the total that has been incurred over the machine, so that we can start it and we can start using it. So everything has to be added till then, minus depreciation that we are charging every year, right? So the amount, the resultant figure which you are going to get is called book value, and that book value is going to be reflected in the balance sheet on the asset side. Now when you are going to sell that asset, so the price at which it is getting sold based on the market value of the asset, so based on that you are going to compare the book value of the asset which is existing in the balance sheet. So if that market value is more than the book value, that means if that selling price is more than that book value which is existing, you have gained. That means you have earned that gain, that extra amount. And if it is a loss, then it is a loss, right? If that means if the book value is lesser than the selling price, then it is a loss situation, right? So ordinarily just mean that in the due course of business, when we are preparing the balance sheet, the fixed assets are going to be shown at their purchase price minus the depreciation amount, that means which is called book value, and not at the market price. I hope that clarifies your doubt, Tejas. Okay, let's move on to the differences now. Now the differences says, अब हमको accounting concepts और conventions के अगर meaning समझ में आ गया है, तो ये difference हमारे लिए बिल्कुल भी tough नहीं रहेगा. So let's just go through it. Okay, the first distinction is legal position. आप एक तो ये तरीका देख लीजिए, क्योंकि जब आपको एग्जाम में कोई भी डिफरेंस लिखने के लिए आएगा, तो आपको इसी तरीके से फॉर्मेट यूज करना है. दैट मींस यू हैव टू गिव द बेसिस फर्स्ट एंड देन द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द 2 और 3, व्हाटएवर इज हैज बीन आस्क्ड, राइट? तो हमेशा याद रखिएगा कि अगर आप बेसिस इंक्लूड नहीं करते, बेसिस ऑफ डिस्टिंक्शन मतलब पॉइंट ऑफ डिफरेंस इंक्लूड नहीं करते हैं, तो ऑटोमेटिकली 1 या 2 नंबर आपके डिडक्ट हो जाते हैं. ओके, no, so now let's start with the first basis, and the first basis is legal position. So legal positions are basically, for accounting concepts, have legal acceptance. That means जो भी accounts बनाए जाते हैं उसमें आप देखेंगे कि ये जो concepts आपने पढ़े हैं 11, उनको use किया जाता है, right? कन्वेंशंस जब आप पढ़ेंगे, कन्वेंशंस के लिए लिखा हुआ है कि अकाउंटिंग कन्वेंशंस आर गाइडलाइन बेस्ड अपॉन कस्टम्स और यूसेज ऑफ और जनरल एग्रीमेंट. कस्टम्स का जो हम बात करते हैं, लीगल जो पोजीशन है वो उतना रिजिड नहीं है एज कंपेयर टू कॉन्सेप्ट्स. मतलब कॉन्सेप्ट्स आर मेंट टू बी फॉलोड द वे इट हैज बीन डिफाइंड, राइट? मगर कन्वेंशंस जब हम देखेंगे तो कन्वेंशंस भी फॉलो किए जाते हैं, मगर वहां जब आप उसको पढ़ेंगे डिटेल में तो आपको समझ में आएगा कि देयर इज सम कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी पॉइंट व्हिच आर गोइंग टू कम इन कन्वेंशंस. सो वी आर गोइंग टू फॉलो इट, but it is not a mandate that we have to follow that only. We can always switch. Okay, आगे चलते हैं. So they are legal as in compared to legal position. Concepts are more rigid and conventions are a little flexible. Okay, the next is recording versus financial statement. Okay, so whatever transactions that we are going to record, जैसे अभी हमने पढ़ा dual aspect concept या accounting period concept या फिर going concern concept, so that means every accounting concepts that we have studied as of now is going to be used for recording all our transactions, and based on that recording our final accounts are going to be prepared, right? मगर accounting conventions का focus किस पे होता है? accounting conventions का basic focus होता है आपके financial statements पे, that means trading, P&L and balance sheet के ऊपर, right? They are not going to deal with the recording part, but they are going to deal with the preparation of the financial statement. That means the final outcome. So when we are talking about conventions, what they are focusing on is on the end result, and what concept is focusing is on the beginning of the process. That means how we should record the transaction. ऐसा नहीं है कि दोनों कोरिलेट नहीं करता, दोनों चीजें कोरिलेट करती हैं। कैसे? जब आप रिकॉर्ड करेंगे कॉन्सेप्ट्स को यूज करके, तो उससे जो आपका आउटपुट निकलेगा, that is going to be financial statement, that is trading account, P&L, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. And when we are talking about convention, so convention is also talking about preparation of financial statement only, right? But it is focusing that while we are declaring the results, while we are communicating our results to the parties interested, we should take care of all the three conventions. That means whatever conventions that are being followed, it should be applied properly. और इसी के साथ मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगी कि कन्वेंशन में जो अभी जो आपका कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन होगा, वो आप देखेंगे कि कैसे होता है और उसका इफेक्ट कैसे पड़ता है हमारे फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स के ऊपर. ओके, so let's move further and let's move on to the next point of difference. And the next point of difference says significance, that is importance. Okay, so significance says that since assumptions are basically the set of rules which are usually followed in recording of transactions, तो जब हम जो transactions record कर रहे हैं, उनको record करते वक्त वो सारे assumptions जो हमने पढ़े, वो सब ध्यान में रख के record किया जाता है. तो जो हमारा result होगा, वो सारे उस concepts को match करता हुआ आएगा. जैसे आपने पढ़ा dual aspect concept. So whatever transaction that we are recording is recording both the aspects of the transaction, that means debit as well as credit. Similarly, we're talking about the accrual concept, so we are going to take care of all the transaction that has been earned or incurred during the year, right? Or we are going to follow the matching concept for the purpose of determining the profit or loss position. Again, we are following the rule. So every concept that we have studied is going to be followed for recording the transaction, and you can very well see it, that how we are following it, right? Then second, accounting convention is saying that it is not so important as accounting concept. ऐसा यहाँ पे जो लिखा हुआ, it is not so important as accounting concept. This is that they are talking in comparison, right? accounting convention बिल्कुल भी नहीं होता है कि वो important नहीं होते हैं. accounting conventions भी important होते हैं, because they are focusing on how we are going to declare the results. I mean, what are the basic principles that should be followed at the time of declaration and communicating the results to the parties interested. But if we are comparing it to the concepts, the relevance is a little lesser, right? That means since all the focus is being made on the concepts, that means the way we are preparing our accounts, so it is being underlined that when we are preparing our accounts, following all the concepts, it is going to give us the result which is going to be objective in nature, right? So that is why the significance, the importance of convention is a little on the lower side, but it is not at all less important. It is very much important. Okay, next is role of personal judgment. Now personal judgment can also be taken as personal biasness. Okay, so हमने accounting concepts के अंदर एक concept पढ़ा था objectivity, right? अगर आपको याद होगा तो objectivity क्या कहता है कि the accounts that we are preparing should be relevant and it should be free from personal biasness. Simultaneously, whatever accounts that we are preparing, it should be ensuring that the documents are there, that the documentary evidence should be there, through which we can make our accounts verifiable, right? That means we have got the source document, we have got the vouchers in place, so using which we can always verify, we can always recheck the transactions, whatever that has been recorded, and based on which the financial statements has been prepared. So यहाँ पर हमारा जो रोल होता है पर्सनल बायसनेस का, वो बहुत कम होता है, क्योंकि पर्सनल बायसनेस होगी तो ऑफ कोर्स आपके जो रिजल्ट्स होंगे वो करेक्ट नहीं होंगे, राइट? मगर कन्वेंशंस की जब हम बात करते हैं, तो मैंने आपको क्या बताया था कि कन्वेंशंस के अंदर कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन है. तो देयर आर 3 कन्वेंशंस, मगर उनके आपस में आप देखेंगे कि वो कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट करते हैं, और क्योंकि वो कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट करते हैं, इसीलिए यहाँ पर अकाउंटेंट का जो रोल है, wherein he can personally decide or he can judge that which convention is he planning to use, he can always do that, right? Whereas in case of concept, he has got no scope of deciding what to choose and what not to choose, right? So he has to prepare the account which is consistent, he has to prepare the account which is objective in nature. Okay, last one is uniform adoption. Okay, सो कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्योंकि आपकी बॉडी ने ऑलरेडी, आईसीएआई ने ऑलरेडी डिफाइन किया हुआ है, so every organization which is framing the account is supposed to follow the concepts the way it has been given by the accountants, right? तो जब वो उस बॉडी ने आपको नोटिफाई कर दिया कि ये सिस्टम है अकाउंट्स बनाने के, ये assumptions हैं जो आपको फॉलो करने हैं अकाउंट्स बनाने में, so there is no scope of personal judgment, so it has to be followed the way it is. That means it is do as directed concept, right? So there is a uniformity. That means every organization accountant is going to prepare the accounts using the same set of concept that has been provided. Whereas when we talk about conventions, तो conventions में मैंने क्या बताया कि वहां पे आपके पास स्कोप है पर्सनल जजमेंट का, और क्योंकि स्कोप है पर्सनल जजमेंट का, इसीलिए यूनिफॉर्मिटी नहीं आ सकती है, क्योंकि हर अकाउंटेंट अपने हिसाब से अपने जजमेंट पे बेस करके अकाउंट्स को, अकाउंटिंग कन्वेंशंस को यूज करता है। इसीलिए आप देखेंगे कि यहाँ पे यूनिफॉर्मिटी का जो एक सिनेरियो है वो लैक करता है, राइट? That means no two organizations accountant are following, if they are not following the same set of conventions, the uniformity cannot be maintained between them, right? So this is there in case of convention. So uniformity level is less as in case of conventions, and it is much more higher as in case of concepts. So I hope every point of difference that we have covered here is clear to all the students. Anybody having any doubt, please write it down in the chat box. Okay, next one is convention. So now let's start with the three conventions that we have here. The first one is convention of full disclosure, convention of materiality, and convention of conservatism, prudence जिसको कहा जाता है। तीनों कॉन्सेप्ट्स को मैं समझा देती हूँ, राइट? पहले से पहला शुरू करेंगे फुल डिस्क्लोजर। इसका नाम क्या बता रहा है? फुल डिस्क्लोजर। दैट मीन्स एवरी इंफॉर्मेशन, एवरी ट्रांजैक्शन, whether big or small, which is happening in an organization, you need to disclose it in the books of accounts. That means जितने भी फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शन, देखिए फाइनेंशियल और नॉन फाइनेंशियल को तो हमें हमेशा ध्यान रखना है, तो जितने भी फाइनेंशियल मॉनेटरी ट्रांजैक्शन एक साल के अंदर आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में, आगे आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में हो रहे हैं, उन सबको आप रिकॉर्ड करेंगे, राइट? अब ये बिल्कुल भी इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं रखता है कि उस जो आप ट्रांजैक्शन को रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं वो कितना बड़े अमाउंट का है, ये कितने छोटे अमाउंट का है. So whatever is happening is going to be recorded. Okay, so this is called full disclosure. And the moment you are going to record it, that means it is going to be classified in ledger, then it is going to be treated in trial balance, and then the final account is going to be prepared using that same trial balance that has been prepared. तो इसीलिए full disclosure में जो भी आपका result आएगा वो आपके सारे transactions को include करता हुआ आएगा, right? That means every financial transaction which is involving money in it is going to be disclosed, is going to be recorded while preparing the books of accounts, so that all the transactions information, related information, is going to be communicated to the parties interested. Okay, अब यहाँ पे बहुत कुछ लिखा हुआ है, बहुत कुछ मैं आपको सब बताऊंगी, मगर अभी हम थोड़ा आगे चलेंगे. नेक्स्ट इज मटीरियलिटी. मटीरियलिटी फुल डिस्क्लोजर का उल्टा होता है, और वो ऐसा क्यों है? क्योंकि मटीरियलिटी कहता है कि हमको सारी फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शन वेदर बिग और स्मॉल, हमको सब कुछ रिकॉर्ड करके डिस्क्लोज करने की जरूरत नहीं है, राइट? We will be taken into consideration only those transactions which are material. Material means which are relevant, which are important to our organization, right? And which is actually going to make any difference in the profit levels which we are going to show to the parties interested, right? So materiality is not focusing or is not following the full disclosure convention. So if the accountant is following materiality convention, he is automatically not following the full disclosure principle. That means, that is why I said that the two conventions that we have here is opposite to each other. So if the accountant is following one, he cannot follow the other. And so the uniformity level between the two different accountants are going to be different. That means they are not going to be same. Okay. अब इसके अंदर मटीरियलिटी को मैं थोड़ा सा और एक्सप्लेन करती हूँ आपको एग्जांपल के साथ, तो आपको बेहतर समझ में आएगा. व्हेन वी से मटीरियलिटी, मटीरियल का मतलब यहाँ पर है with the kind of nature of expense to which, or the nature of revenue to which it is involved, and the amount with which it is involved. Okay, let me take an example for this. मान लेते हैं एक बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जिसका जो रेवेन्यू है, जिसका टर्नओवर जो है वो करोड़ में है, राइट. अब वहां पर जो भी आपके कस्टमर्स आते हैं, यू हैव अ प्रैक्टिस ऑफ ऑफरिंग देम बेवरेजेस, राइट, based on the footfall. That means whosoever is entering in the organization and is coming and visiting the organization, whether they are dealing or they are not dealing, but if they are entering, so the entertainment committee of the organization is going to offer them some beverage, right. So उस entertainment cost का हम मान लेते हैं कि एक big organization जिसका turnover करोड़ में था, उसने एक महीने के अंदर इनकर किया 10,000 का, राइट, और पूरे साल के अंदर इनकर किया 1,20,000 का, राइट. तो अब अगर मान लेते हैं कि 1,20,000 करोड़ के सामने कितना बड़ा अमाउंट है. कैन यू अंडरस्टैंड the magnitude of the expense? So अभी अगर मैं अब ले रही हूँ कि 1,20,000, या मान लेते हैं साल भर का आपका रहे 50,000, तो 50,000 जो ये एक्सपेंस आपने इनकर किया, इसका मैग्नीट्यूड उस करोड़ रुपीस के सामने कितना बड़ा है. It is very less, and that is why it is not required to be recorded, right? Because since the amount is so less that it is not going to make any big difference in the amount of profit that we are going to declare, and that is why we are not recording it. We are not going to record it in our book of accounts, and so it is to be ignored, even despite of the fact that it is material. It is not, I mean, it is financial, it is still not getting recorded. On the contrary, एक बात करते हैं शोरूम की. एक शोरूम रन कर रहे हैं आप, जिसका टर्नओवर है आपका मान लेते हैं एक साल के अंदर 10 लाख रुपीस, राइट. अब वहां पर आपके 50,000 रुपीस का एक्सपेंस आपने इनकर किया ऑन द एंटरटेनमेंट कॉस्ट. अब मुझे बताइए कि क्या अब ये रेलेवेंट है आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए? यस, इट इज रेलेवेंट, क्योंकि अब जो 50,000 इनकर कर रहे हैं वो लाख के ऊपर है, और जो पहले 50,000 इनकर कर रहे थे वो था करोड़ के ऊपर. तो if we are comparing the magnitude of the income that we are receiving and the expense which we are incurring, so based on the fact, the accountant, they decide it on their own that what is relevant and what is not that relevant. So if they consider something is relevant, something is material enough, they are going to find a place and record it in the books of accounts. And something which they treat as an accountant that they are considering that it is not material enough, or if it is not that relevant enough, so they are not going to record it in their books of accounts, and so they are not going to hold any effect on the financial statements that are getting prepared. And right, so this is why it is called materiality. Materiality means what is relevant, what is important to us should be disclosed, and what is not so important, what is irrelevant, or what is not that material enough should be ignored. Okay, next is the last convention that we have for today, and that is convention of conservatism or prudence, right? So conservatism or prudence का मतलब क्या होता है? मैंने पहले भी आपको कई बार ये वर्ड बताया था, conservatism. So conservatism means basically playing safe. That means whatever losses, playing safe का मतलब है आप अपने आप को safeguard करके चलना चाहते हैं. और safeguard आप कैसे करेंगे? Organization एक policy adopt करती है that if they are expecting any kind of loss that they are going to incur in future, let's create a provision for it. तो इसका मतलब मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल से समझाती हूँ इसको और बेहतर. अगर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्रेडिट ट्रांजैक्शंस में डील कर रहा है, मतलब क्रेडिट सेल्स हो रही हैं, तो आपके पास डेटर्स क्रिएट हो रहे हैं. हमने कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़ा था बैड डेट्स का, अप्लाई कीजिए उसे यहाँ पर, कि हो सकता है कि जितने भी हमारे क्रेडिट सेल्स हैं उसमें 10% जो हमारे क्रेडिट सेल्स हैं वो हमको पैसे नहीं देंगे, मतलब वो डेटर्स हमको पैसे नहीं दे पाएंगे, तो वो मेरे लिए क्या बनेगा? बैड डेट्स. अब बैड डेट है ना, तो आप प्रोविजन बना दो because we are anticipating that this is some loss which we are going to face in the coming future, and this is something which we can foresee. So I will create a provision which is made out of profit. That means I'll keep a portion of profit aside for taking care of that loss which we are going to incur in the near future, right? And I don't know who's not going to pay, but what I'm doing is on a cumulative basis, I'm creating a 10% provision of the credit sales. That means I'm anticipating कि जो भी मेरे credit sales होंगे इस साल के 10% तक मुझे पैसा नहीं मिल सकता है, और उसके अलावा जो 90% है वो मुझे recover हो जाएगा, right? So this provision that I'm making is called provision for bad or doubtful debt. अब जब एक्चुअली वो समय आएगा तो हो सकता है कि आपको 10 की जगह 12% का लॉस हो जाए, या 10 की जगह 8% का लॉस हो, या 5% का लॉस हो, ऐसा बिल्कुल हो सकता है। तो जब आपने ये प्रोविजन बनाया, या बिल्कुल भी लॉस ना हो, राइट, तो जो भी आपने प्रोविजन बनाया वो आपको अगले साल गाइड करेगा कि इस साल जो आपके पास सिचुएशन रही, उससे आप अगले साल के लिए प्लान करेंगे कि प्रोविजन क्या हमें बढ़ाना चाहिए अमाउंट का अगर ज्यादा डेट लॉस हुआ है तो, या हमें कम करना चाहिए इस प्रोविजन का अमाउंट. Based on that, the next year provision is going to be made. But provision means the amount of profit that has been set aside so as to take care of any kind of forthcoming loss that we are able to foresee, right? Or maybe something which we are not able to foresee, but we are just planning to keep a amount available for taking care of such loss. So that is called provision. Okay. नेक्स्ट इज, अगर हमें कोई इनकम होने वाली है तो हम तब तक रिकॉर्ड नहीं करते हैं जब तक कि वो अर्न नहीं हो जाती, राइट? प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, कंजर्वेटिज्म मतलब एक नैरो अप्रोच. तो जो भी लॉसेस है आपने उसको फोर्सी किया और उसके लिए आपने पहले से ही प्रोविजन बना दिया, मतलब एक प्रोविजन मतलब एक अमाउंट फिक्स कर दिया कि दिस इज व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू इनकर इन फ्यूचर. मगर जो आपके पास जो आपका प्रॉफिट्स हैं जो आपको सामने दिख रहे होते हुए, वो आप जब तक कि वो हो नहीं जाएंगे, मतलब अगर मुझे दिख रहा है कि मेरी प्रोडक्ट की मार्केट में डिमांड बढ़ रही है एंड दिस टाइम आई एम गोइंग टू इंक्रीज माय सेल्स, राइट? तो जब तक वो आप सेल्स कन्वर्ट नहीं कर लेते ना, मतलब जब तक वो सेल्स हो नहीं जाएगी तब तक आप उसे रिकॉर्ड नहीं कर सकते, जस्ट बाय द फैक्ट that you know that the demand has increased and this time the sales is going to increase, and you are going to record it. No, this will not happen, right? So you are going to record all the income based on the fact that the income has been earned. That means that that revenue, it should arise, right? Till the time that has not been earned or it has not got accrued, we cannot record it, right? Whereas loss, even if we have not incurred it, but still if we can foresee it, please make a provision, right? So that is why आपको याद हो अगर कि क्लोजिंग स्टॉक मैंने आपको बताया था कि इट इज ऑलवेज रिकॉर्डेड एट मार्केट प्राइस और कॉस्ट प्राइस विच एवर इज लेस. लेसर वैल्यू पे क्यों रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं हम उसे? इसीलिए क्योंकि हम अगर लेसर वैल्यू पे रिकॉर्ड करेंगे तो बेसिकली हम अपने प्रॉफिट्स को इंक्रीज नहीं कर रहे, राइट? तो अगर मैं उसको ज्यादा वैल्यू पे दिखाती, इसका मतलब क्या होता? प्रॉफिट बढ़ जाते. तो प्रॉफिट को मुझे कम दिखाना है, और वो मैं कैसे दिखाऊंगी? By showing my closing stock at the market price or cost price, whichever is less. That means I am following conservatism approach. और हर organization conservative approach ही follow करती है. There is the only discretion between the principle of materiality or the principle of full disclosure. Either of the two has to be used, and the conservatism principle has to be applied, right? So this is going to be used as it is without any change, and this is something which you are going to see while you are going to prepare your financial statement. इसीलिए मैंने आपको बताया कि जो भी आपके ये जो प्रिंसिपल्स हैं ये सब फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट पे इफेक्ट करते हैं, क्योंकि फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट बनाते वक्त ही आप ये ध्यान रखते हैं कि क्या चीज किस प्राइस पे रिकॉर्ड की जानी चाहिए, राइट? And so they are only focusing upon the financial statement, last financial statement, that is trading, P&L and balance sheet, and they are not focusing upon recording part. And concept, it starts from the recording part and it goes up to the completion of financial statement. Okay, and here we come to an end of this chapter. all the questions which are there in this chapter, I would expect you to go through it. There'll be no doubt that you'll be facing, but still, if you think there is anything which is not clear, right? So I'll be explaining that point again. Okay. Meanwhile, I have received some doubts here. So let me solve some doubts. रीड आज का मैं आपको होमवर्क पहले बता देती हूँ. आज का होमवर्क है आपको सारे अपने जितने भी कन्वेंशंस हैं वो सब पहले रीड करने हैं. There are lot of things which are written in the conventions. आपको अगर कुछ भी डाउट होगा, I would expect that you are going to listen to this video again. जैसे ही आप उसको देखेंगे, सुनेंगे, आपको वापस से क्लैरिटी हो जाएगी कि कन्वेंशंस किस बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. Anything which you are still not clear with is going to be discussed tomorrow when we are going to start with the 4th chapter. Plus, I'll be taking care of your doubts. Okay, 4th chapter is the basis of accounting. So, basis of accounting में ऐसा कुछ नहीं है जो हमने नहीं किया है, right? It is going to talk about the process and the basis both, right? So we have already understood what is the process of accounting. कल आप जो आपका first chapter में आपने process of accounting पढ़ा था, which is the accounting cycle, please आप उसको read करके आइए. Basis of accounting, that is cash and accrual basis, जो हमने already पढ़ लिया है थोड़ा, उसको भी आप थोड़ा read करके आइए, right? ये सब चीजें जो आप पढ़ चुके हैं, इसी के ऊपर एक डिटेल डिस्कशन हम करेंगे कल, एंड कल ही हमारा ये 4th चैप्टर भी फिनिश हो जाएगा. एंड आफ्टर दैट वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट विद आवर न्यूमेरिकल सेगमेंट. ओके, सो आई वुड एक्सपेक्ट कि आप जितनी जल्दी इस जो हम पढ़ चुके हैं चीजों को जितनी जल्दी आप इसे रिवाइज करेंगे, उतना आसान रहेगा हमें हमारे न्यूमेरिकल्स को शुरू करना, राइट? वी आर ऑलरेडी कंप्लीटेड almost the 80% of the theory segment which is going to be asked in the exam. If there is anything which is still not clear, we'll take up the doubts first and then we'll start with the next chapter. Okay, now let's start with some doubts. Okay, there is a doubt related to cash memo. Okay, cash memo. तेजस, आपका डाउट है बच्चे, मैं आपको एग्जांपल से बताती हूँ आपको. ये आप मार्केट जाते होंगे या फिर आपने कभी कुछ ऑनलाइन खरीदा होगा, तो आपने देखा है जब भी आप ऑनलाइन खरीदते हैं किसी चीज को एंड यू मेक द पेमेंट, तो पेमेंट करने के टाइम पर एक बिल जनरेट होता है, राइट? और वो बिल दिखाता है, नीचे लिखकर आता है कैश पेड या फिर नीचे लिखकर आता है COD. तो ये जब आपने कैश पेड लिखा हुआ आया, तो वो क्या बना आपके लिए? वो बना आपके लिए कैश मेमो. इसका मतलब है कि कैश मेमो एक ऐसा सोर्स डॉक्यूमेंट है जो कि ये रिफ्लेक्ट करता है कि ये ट्रांजैक्शन हुई है, जो फाइनेंशियल है नेचर में, ये अमाउंट है उस ट्रांजैक्शन का, ये डिटेल्स है इस ट्रांजैक्शन की, ये डेट है, इस ट्रांजैक्शन को यहाँ से इस कमोडिटी को यहाँ से परचेज किया गया, या सर्विसेज यहाँ से ली गई हैं, ये पेमेंट आपकी कर दी गई है, राइट? So when everything is written on that slip, that slip is called cash memo. I hope this is clear now. Okay. Okay, Saurabh का doubt है अब convention number 3, which is conservatism or prudence. Okay, so conservatism or prudence says that any organization which is preparing its account has to play safe while preparing its account. That means बेसिक भाषा में बोलूं इसे तो कहेंगे कि हमें अपना प्रॉफिट कभी भी इन्फ्लेट करके बढ़ाकर नहीं दिखाना है. आप अपने प्रॉफिट को हमेशा मिनिमम पॉसिबल पे शो कीजिए, जिससे कि आपका जो भी प्रॉफिट एक्चुअली अर्न होगा वो कभी भी उससे कम नहीं जाएगा, राइट? तो जो भी आप प्लान करते हैं, जब भी हम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, हमारे ऑपरेशंस अपने शुरू होते हैं, तो वो क्या करते हैं कि whatever profits that they are expecting or they are anticipating कि ये सेगमेंट्स हैं जहां से मुझे इनकम मिलनी है, राइट? चाहे वो मेरा सेल्स हो एक कॉर्नर, या फिर मेरा डिविडेंड हो जो कि मुझे मेरी इन्वेस्टमेंट पे रिसीव होना है, राइट? So till the time I am not actually earning it, that means that income is not getting created, or it is not arising, or it is not accruing, we are not going to record it. That means any income will find its place only once it is accrued, right? Once it is earned. मगर इसकी जगह पर हम बात करते हैं एक्सपेंसेस की, तो एक्सपेंसेस को हमको फोर्सी करना है, एंड वी हैव टू मेक सर्टेन प्रोविजंस. दैट मींस जो भी हमारे लॉसेस हैं, जो हमको लगता है कि फ्यूचर में हम इनकर कर सकते हैं, उन सारे लॉसेस के लिए हम प्रोविजन बनाएंगे और उसको रिकॉर्ड करेंगे, राइट? एंड प्रोविजन क्यों रिकॉर्ड किए जाते हैं? सो दैट वी कैन reduce our profits level with that loss which we may face in future, right? और अगर फ्यूचर में वो लॉस नहीं होता है तो अगले साल जब आप अपना प्रोविजन बनाएंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली उस प्रोविजन का जो अमाउंट होगा वो आप कम कर देंगे। मगर इस साल के लिए जो आप प्रोविजन बना रहे हैं, इट हैज टू बी टेकन इनटू कंसिडरेशन that we take care of all the forthcoming losses, whatever that we are expecting that we may incur in future, right? So losses are going to be taken into consideration, but profits are going to be recorded only once it has accrued, and that is the concept of conservatism. This is how we record our transactions in financial statement. Anybody else having any other doubt? Okay. Since I'm able to see that there are a lot of students who are not attending the class strength has fallen down, and अगर 10 ही बच्चे class करने वाले हैं, so let me tell you this, that, and I want you all to pass on the message that if this is going to be the scenario, I'm going to remove these online classes, because if it is not making sense to you, if you're not planning to attend it, right? We have got a strength of 45, and 45 में से अगर 10 बच्चे करते हैं class, तो बेहतर है कि मैं क्लास ना करूं आपके साथ ऑनलाइन, और मैं ऑनलाइन आपकी जो ये वीडियोस हैं ये रिकॉर्ड करके मैं यूट्यूब पे डाल दूंगी, and I'll be sharing the link with you, right? I think please let the students know. I'll be also passing down a very formal and an official message on the group that if they are not interested in attending the class, better we shut down these online classes, right? I am not going to entertain the class strength of 10, right? So everybody, and secondly, all those who are attending, let me congratulate you, क्योंकि आपकी attendance mark हो रही है बच्चे, इसी बेसिस पे आपकी स्कूल में अटेंडेंस मार्क की जाएगी। अगर आप अटेंड नहीं कर रहे हैं क्लास, तो ये जो अटेंडेंस आपकी मार्क हो रही है यहाँ पर, वो ऑटोमेटिकली रिड्यूस हो जाती है, right? And anybody who is falling below 75% of attendance will have to suffer the consequences, right? So I think I have made myself very clear. Anything which is not clear, you can always ask it in your doubt segment, which is you can write it in the chat box. And since I'm not receiving any other message, so I hope everything that we have covered today is clear to all, right? Meanwhile, for all of you who are attending, please take care, and we'll meet tomorrow. Please revise the topic that has been covered today, and we'll continue with the new topic and the doubts tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Please take care.